What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. It's a beautiful day out, nice out. Making this video about complainers and complaining. And it's all because I went to the gas station this morning and I seen this lady in there bitching like she does every time you see her in there. And one of the other customers had said something about her when she left. And I was like, man, she's like that every day, it seems like. And when I left, she had a BMW SUV out there, really nice, brand new, fancy, probably has a nice house and everything, and she has no idea. And a lot of you people don't. You don't. Uh, you can be where you're at in life right now, having that nice house and car and toys, and hopefully you got something for a backup in case something ever happens, because you could lose it all over the dumbest. You could not wake up and open your eyes. Like me, I opened my eyes and one day, and my feet and legs were hurting so bad I couldn't even get out of bed. I had to call UPS and get somebody to cover my triple schedule, and then I drove myself to the ER. That was 2.5 months of my life with 11 surgeries that I was knocked out, and my brain was just toast. All the morphine and Percocets every day, the whole time I was there. It really took a couple months for it to hit me, because I came home the end of October, and I knew I lost my job, I knew I lost my legs. It wasn't, that bad, but it really didn't hit me. I had that feeling like this is temporary, it'll get better, I'll get better. But the part that was never going to get better, that really didn't hit me for a couple months, was the fact that every day I wake up and open my eyes, the rest of my life, I'll be grabbing a wheelchair. Or if I ever figure out the walking and get my back surgery and my stump cut off, I'll be grabbing my legs, putting legs on, whatever. But right now it's a wheelchair, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. I got out end of October, and that was right before Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I remember my daughter coming over one time, and she left, and that's when it hit me. That day, that moment, she left. I started thinking about how I'm just sitting there with nothing to do in a wheelchair, broke. I was so broke. I was on a $2,000 a month short-term disability from UPS, and at the time I didn't know any better, because when I called to get that canceled, the lady said I couldn't, which that was wrong. And I was only living off of $248 a week. Christmas was coming. I always liked buying things for my daughter. I was at a point in life where the holidays weren't really much, because all I had was my daughter. My parents had passed away. There was no family get-togethers at the time. It was kind of dwindling down, and there just wasn't much going on in my life as far as family. Now it's even worse. But I go to a counselor every month, because when I got out of the hospital, I was not going to take pain medicine, and I didn't. I came home and they said, you can go to pain management, and I thought, I'm not going to do any management with that. I'm not doing it. And I started going to a counselor, like a drug alcohol counselor, and I've been going to her for 4 years, and I go every month, and I do that because I feel that she keeps me on track, and she keeps me where I'm at in life. She keeps me positive. I try to think that for a person in my situation, that I'm positive. You don't see me on here whining and crying and complaining. Oh, poor me, I want to kill myself, shit. I do complain, though. I have the right to complain. Like my wheelchair thing, I made that video complaining about. I was already dealing with that for 2 months and never once said anything on Facebook about it. It wasn't until the point of where I was just letting it bottle up in me that I made the video about it, complaining on how they're saying I can't get the one I've got already. And but back to my complaining video, all you guys and girls could wake up one day and your husband or wife next to you didn't open her eyes, or something bad happens that day that changes your whole life like it did for me, and then you have something to complain about, because you have no idea right now. I didn't. I really didn't. I never, ever would have expected something like this to happen to me. And I make the best of it. I try to be positive. I've lost a lot of friends. A lot of people don't come around or call me anymore. I don't get invited to much because I'm in this freaking chair that can't get in nobody's house, and I know that's what they all think. Uh, but I do go to people's houses and crawl in there and use my manual or my hand wheelchair, but to here nor there, I don't really care. Um, but it's really affected my family life. My mom died at 53 in 2009 of breast cancer. My dad died in 2004. Yeah, he was 51. Uh, he died from a ruptured hernia, but he had liver issues and needed to get a transplant from his drinking. And that's what killed my dad. But then I had my sister, Brittany Wanderley, pass away in 2017 of cancer. So and I never thought of it until my counselor said it to me in my last visit. And it's really made me think a lot since then. I've never thought it, but she's like, you've dealt with a lot of loss in your life throughout your young years of life, like when I was married and all that. And she was saying, you've lost a lot of close people in your life, your mom, your dad, your sister. And it's kind of like sisters, because my other sister, I have nothing to do with and probably never will. She doesn't have nothing to do with her kids. I'm not going to go on that route. But that's affected my life too. The kids are in my life. They always will be. I love them. I hate to see that my sister's doing what she's doing, whatever it is. She's not on drugs. But that whole thing is just a daily pain in my heart. It's just more loss in my family. My stepdad doesn't even call me or come around. I've ran into him a couple times the last 3 months at my nephew's soccer games. But he don't call me. He used to call me all the time. He hasn't called me in months. He came and popped in on my birthday for 20 minutes, dropped off some lottery tickets, and hung out to see if I won and left. But he don't call me no more. I think it's probably because of how I got on about my sister that's out on drugs, but has nothing to do with her kids. She's a fucking loser. Excuse my French, but it's just something I'll never accept, and I'm not going to dwell on that. I'm not going to let that ruin your day or my day. The kids are taken care of. They've got a very nice grandma and grandpa that's got custody of them, that takes care of them. Hopefully their dad gets this shit together like it seems like he is, and he'll get custody of them. But my sister never will. But I deal with that every day. People think I'm an asshole because I called the cops on her and this and that when she wouldn't leave my house. And she came to my house when I wasn't there and then left the door open when it was 10 degrees out. My dog's in there, and I come home at midnight and my dog's laying in the couch freezing with the door wide open. That kind of crap's going on. And that hurts me though, because that was all I had. I felt like all I had was my sister and my stepdad. And I got aunts and uncles that were calling me and being cool to me and saying they're proud of me, but I don't hear from none of them either. Like last Christmas really sucked for me. I really sat there thinking like, man, I got nowhere to go, nothing to do. And at one time I had 3 families. I had my mom's family to go see, my dad's family to go see, and then we had to run out to Medina to see my wife's family. Now I got nothing. But you know what? I'm fine. I'm happy in life. I'm positive. I don't let it bother me. I don't complain about it. I try to be positive. And most of the time when I make a video, it's usually because I'm upset about something or I'm bothered about something. Not right now, I'm not. I'm just bothered about the complaining thing and that lady, because I thought, you have no idea. And you just bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch. Like your husband ain't good enough for you. Your car, think about what you got. You can lose everything right now. I wasn't very smart financially to where I set myself up for something like this. I definitely didn't. I never thought this would happen to me. I thought I was going to work at UPS till I was 62, get a pension, and sit at home with my $5,000 a month and whatever I get from Social Security, and be on a boat or travel the country, whatever. Well, now I'm 48, and I want to take a year to do that and enjoy life, because I've never done that. And living on this budget, sitting at home like I was, it was enough to want to kill yourself, which I never would do that. But it just sounded good, a 1 year on the road just to travel around and not have to worry about anything. And it still sounds like a good idea, and I'm going to do it. It's just taking me a while, because when I bought the bus, I thought I was going to get 20, 30 grand back pay for UPS for the last couple of years that I was off at the time. And that all backfired, and I got $2,400, and I get like $129 a month from them until I'm 55, and I can draw or apply for my pension at 55. So that doesn't help me right now. So I'm trying to make it to where I can travel the country just waking up in my bus and staying at cheap or free places like Nomad it. That way I can wake up every day somewhere else and be like, well, I'm thankful to be alive and here. I'm thankful to be alive and here. It'll be better than sitting in Barberton waiting on what? I have no reason to be here. I mean, the only thing I have to be here for is my daughter. And she's 14 into horses and friends, and she doesn't have much time for me. And I understand it. I'm not mad at her for it. I get it. I was at that age once. But she loves me, and she came over this Father's Day and spent the night with me, and we had fun. I mean, it wasn't like we used to go boating and riding on poker runs and stuff, but, you know, that's changed a lot for me and my daughter, our relationship. I used to be the fun dad, you know, pick her up on the weekends to go boating and swimming at the lakes or, you know, doing fun things. I always had the money to do it, and I did. And now I don't have the money to do shit and don't have nothing. But I'm starting over in life. And I hope that one day, after I do this 1-year road trip, come back and I'm going to build me a Harley, and I'm going to hopefully get me a job, a full-time job somewhere, doing something that somebody will see that I can do. Even though I'm in the wheelchair, I can still physically work and do things. It's got to be the right thing for me, like what I'm doing now. But I'm not complaining. I'm not. This isn't a complaining video for me. It's about people out there that are complaining that have no reason to complain like you do. I get it once in a while, a bad day, but every time you see somebody and they're bitching, man, you have no idea what be in my shoes, lose your career after you lose your legs and your boat and your motorcycle and everything you own. That Christmas, jumping back to that, but that Christmas, when my daughter left, I broke down, and that's when I realized, man, this ain't good. This is the rest of my life. And the thing that hurt them absolute most was the fact that I didn't have any money to buy my daughter something for Christmas. And that hurt bad. The second year was kind of like that, but it wasn't as bad. But the first year, it was horrible. And when she left that day, I was thinking it was cold and rainy out, and she was driving home with her mom. And I was thinking, man, she's going back home, leaving me here, feeling like crap, by myself, nobody there with me. It's my fault. I'm an asshole. Nobody wants to put up my shit. But when she went home, and then I was thinking about Christmas and buying her stuff, it hit hard. That's when I realized this is bad. And I've been trying to make better of it since, and to show my daughter that, you know, I'm not a lazy bum, and I can still fix things and tinker around, and hopefully do this 1-year road trip and show everybody on YouTube, you know, how a handicapped guy in a wheelchair can go around and live off of nothing and still try to have fun and make the best of it and have things and not complaining, being positive, because I feel if you try to live a positive life, even when you're feeling negative, it'll usually turn out to be a positive. Because I guarantee if you be negative and live a negative life, waking up bitching, the whole rest of your day's like that, the whole rest of your life's like that, and that's just a negative Nelly. I don't like that. So that's why I try to be positive even in the negatives. I just try to keep that going, even in my head when I'm hurting and I'm upset and I'm thinking about, man, this sucks. I just try to look at the good things in life and the friends I have in my life that are good to me and that are there for me and stuck through me through all I've been through and help me out like they do, giving me a place to live cheap and, you know, taking care of me at times that I needed help. I mean, I've got some really good friends out there right now that I know love me and care about me, and they've showed it. So this is my video about you bitchers out there, you complainers. Don't do it. Don't do it. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. Everybody picks up on that and knows when you come around. Like, I know they think about me, oh, he talks a lot or whatever. I don't care. Have a good day, guys. Love you. Peace.